June 2015, right? Everyone around me, every single person that I knew in my class, placed in the best firms possible. Name it UBS, EY, Deloitte. It's fancy. Some of them getting into Microsoft, Google. I'm like, wow, okay, this is exciting. Everyone's getting the offer letters, walking outside, so happy. And most importantly, it's even better to see their parents' faces when they, come to college, saying that, okay, my child is placed here. I'm so excited to see him do so well. I think, this is exactly what they had to do. And on the flip side, I had my dad and mom. Uh, worrying about things that I never thought they would worry about. So they never came to college because there was a complaint about me or something like that. But at this point, they were really worried as to what went wrong in my life. Because I never sat for something like this. I didn't think of, going that route, but probably because of what was happening in my head and I couldn't explain it to my parents. But here's what's exciting, right? My dad and mom came to me one day and said, "Hey, Anto, what's wrong with your life? Like, did you fall in love or something? Or are you dating somebody? Like, are you going through depression?" I said, "No, I mean, uh, I'm not. Like, it's all okay. What happened? Why aren't you sitting for placements? Why don't you want to get a job? Why don't you study further? What are you doing right now?" Right? So that's when I, like the person that I am, very dramatic, said, "I'm going to follow my passion." Right? So now here's what's very, very interesting about passion. Right? What is passion? Right? Nobody has a clue. Like, I didn't have a clue. But something told me that I wanted to do something that I feel very strong about. That I felt like I would be doing justice to as a part of, right? I didn't know how to explain it to my dad and mom then, and which is what was the biggest issue in my head, right? So I said, if I have to do something, and if I couldn't convince my dad and mom about it, how would I go around the world convincing people to believe in what I believed in? And that was very important. So here's what it boiled down into. June 2015, I am not placed anywhere. I have nothing fancy happening in my head. I'd started some cool things in college as a party trick, as something that would, get me some mileage in college, but nothing serious, nothing that I thought that would make my life henceforth, right? And that sort of hit me on June 1st, and I was sitting on my bed, not knowing where to go. I didn't have an office to go to. I didn't have a place to go to, as opposed to when I was in college. I was startled by the idea of what I was going to do about my passion. Now here's what that led me to find out, right? So the misconception about passion. June 1st, everything worked. I said, okay, I'm going to do this. Called my lovely partner. I said, hey, buddy, we need to do things and we need to make things work. But something that never occurred to me, and a lot of people kept telling me, follow your passion, follow your dreams, this is passion, that is passion. But I never got myself to understand what passion meant, right? What it was and why people are talking about it every single day. Some people are saying, hey, go do this, go do that. There was no clarity. And with my tiny little time that I have on stage, I want to bring to you what I learned about passion, and most importantly, what passion is not, right? So, the first and foremost thing is that the fact about passion is that it is not a hard and fast rule, right? More often than not, almost every single time when anybody talks about passion, they say, follow that one thing that you really like. You probably want to do that one thing that you've always wanted to do in life that you didn't do till now. Go forward, follow that thing. Follow your dream, follow your passion, yada, yada, yada. But here's what passion is. It's not a hard and fast rule. I'll tell you what passion is. Passion is multiple things. You can love many things. You can feel strong about hundreds of things, and you can be passionate in all of those things, right? Nobody tells you that. You can be passionate about multiple things at the same time, right? So the best example about this is when we're kids, right? Our childhood. We're not stopped from doing anything. And as rightly said before, creativity is at its peak when you're a child. Because nobody is telling you to do something the way they wanted to do it. They're letting you be yourself and the way you want to be. And this is very important for all of us to understand that there is no hard-bound rule about passion, right? You can be passionate about multiple things. You don't have to choose one thing and say, this is the only thing I want to do for the rest of my life. You don't have to. It is not a rule. You can do multiple things. You can be good at every single thing. It is okay. But however, the reason why people say choose one thing and do that thing is because you can focus and put all your energy into that one thing. I don't deny it when people say it that way, but the most important part is for you to not stop yourself from identifying other parts of yourself. According to a research that happened about 10 years back actually, only 3% of our total human brain is used or put to creative use in the entire existence of our life, right? Almost 97 is gone unseen, right? So, like I was saying, it is not a hard and fast rule, but here's the second and the most interesting part about passion. I'll break the word passion down as a very simple definition. Passion is an intense emotion towards something you feel strong about. Passion is an intense emotion towards something you feel very strong about, right? This is the definition of passion. It is not an idea. It is not the intention. It is the feeling. What is an emotion? An emotion, love is an emotion, right? There are multiple emotions that we go through in life. Passion is one of those intense emotions that you have in life. It is a feeling about something that you want to sort of build and create and make a difference to, but it's not the idea. The idea comes after feeling strong about something. It is a feeling, it is the emotion, it is not a particular idea. So tomorrow, don't go and be like, hey, I'm passionate about something, but my idea towards that is this, right? That is the secondary part of your passion where you're solving a problem or you're seeing something that you feel strong about, right? That is passion. So you can be passionate about falling in love. You can be passionate about being there for each other. You can be passionate about anything in the world, but that's a feeling towards something. You can feel passionate about stray dogs. You can feel passionate about engineering. You can feel passionate about anything. That's a feeling. What you do about it is what this is all about. When someone first asked me, Anto, like how do you define, like what do you do with your passion? Like what's passion, right? And every time I used to think for myself that passion was music, passion was design, passion was art, passion was fancy, passion was everything that I thought would make me look cooler, right? But it is not the art, or it is not just the art. So the art here is a mode of expressing your passion. The art here is what you choose to express your idea or an intention through the strong feeling that you have about something, right? So I'll give you a beautiful example that if you want to express your strong feeling about something, you probably use music as an option. You probably use art as an option to express that feeling. You probably use something else which is amazing, probably like a startup or an idea or a journey or a travel experience that will probably spread that passion. Now that feeling needs to be tread into multiple stages of life through the art. And that is what the art does to the entire passion. So when I started understanding this, I felt passionate about building communities for the youngsters in this country. And I created what I created. So that is my art, or the way I am trying, or my mode of expressing that passion that I had, right? So that is something that most of them don't understand. So today what happens is, hey, everyone's, in our adolescence, what clearly happens is all our friends are doing something. We are bound by the fear or the thought of missing out on something if you're not good at something, right? So everybody starts becoming, everyone starts going out and saying, hey, I want to try this, I want to be that, I want to be a photographer, I want to be a designer, but why? What are you feeling strong about? What mode of art are you choosing to express your passion, right? that is very important. And once you find that, you will always feel very strong about it, that you'll invest your time, effort, people, resources, everything into making that happen. And that's very important. Here's something which I know for a fact is a parallel, right? Passion versus profession. Quickly, how many of you think this is the same? How many of you think passion and profession is the same? How many of you think it's completely different? All right, so here's something very interesting about passion and profession, right? Passion and profession are two different things, but they intersect at almost every single part of each other, right? If you want to be good at your profession, you need to be extremely passionate. And if you need to be passionate about something and do justice to it, you need to be extremely professional, right? So this intersection is very important that people don't understand today. When someone comes and says, hey, I got into a corporate job and that is not my passion, I don't get it. You can be passionate about your job. Passion is not something that you'll take and say, I did this as my hobby or a dream while I was in college. That is not passion. That could be your passion if you chose to express something through it and you feel strongly about it, then you probably say that's your passion. But what's more important is passion and profession go hand in hand, right? You can be extremely passionate about the job that you're doing. And that is why people who are doing that job do extremely well at it and climb that ladder, which is totally okay, right? It's often that you see people who come and say, hey, why are you climbing the corporate ladder? It is okay to climb that corporate ladder. It is fine to be in that setting if you believe in it and if you love it. If you don't, quit right now. But if you do, that's exactly what passion's all about. It's being passionate about the thing that you're doing already. Probably you didn't even know how good you are at solving problems using a software that you never ever touched. But that's when you start realizing these things, right? But I always believe passion can be a profession, but your profession always has to be a passion. Like, if you don't believe in what you're doing day after day, you're only probably doing injustice to yourself more than anybody else. And that's very important to understand. The earlier you realize that, the better it is for all of us, including me. And this is the most demonic, disturbing thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, it kills me. What's your passion? Everybody comes and asks. So it's like this one pickup line, you know. Hey, nice to meet you. How are you doing? It's been a pleasure knowing you for so long. But can you please tell me what's your passion? Like, you know. And then, do you want to order some coffee? But you didn't tell me about your passion. Probably we connect. And then the person says, hey, I'm really passionate about reading books. Hey, me also, books, I love it, right? So when you fall in love, right, you realize what all you can do towards making something work, right? You put yourself completely in that situation to make things work, right? For me, this question is a terror in my head, right? Because all my life, I've been trying to answer this question day in, day out, right? And I haven't come up with the coolest answer, because if I don't say something cool, everybody is going to be like, dude, what the hell are you doing, right? If you don't say something fancy and nice, people are going to be judging you, saying, hey, that guy's not cool enough. His passion is to drive the auto. Right? So you can't really come up with something that is that cool where everybody is going to be like, wow, like what a passion, right? So the biggest problem is solving this answer or telling someone that my passion is this and pointing that out, because there is no answer to this question, right? The answer should not be found now. You should find it every single day. Do whatever you've got to do. Do multiple things. Do hundreds of things that will probably make you happy and understand yourself in this journey of life. And that's what's very important, not answering this question. You know, just to prove yourself and just to prove it to the people around you, you start creating something that you're not passionate about as your passion. And that is what is harming a lot of us, right? Passion is not that. You can feel strong about hundreds of things, do all of it at the same time, and you won't have a problem. You know what is the best thing in the whole wide world? It's uncertainty, right? Uncertainty sparks innovation. And I've always seen this. When you know that you are going to be certain about what's going to happen tomorrow, you're not going to be thinking. You're going to be just fine, and you're just going to be running the way you're running. But when you're uncertain, when you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, you're going to do multiple things to make things work. You're going to do every goddamn possible way to react to a particular situation. And I've seen it day in, day out of my life, right? Uncertainty sparks innovation. When you don't know what your passion is, you're going to be constantly in this journey of finding it, and you'll find hundreds of things that you're very, very strongly good at. And that is what passion is. And that is why we all need to constantly find that journey where we can tell ourselves that it's not one thing, but multiple things. We need not answer this question for the rest of the world, but we need to answer this question to ourselves by telling us that it is okay to not know your passion. Thank you.